to see some more experimentation on the AAA level, because we're down to a very limited number of games per year. I can pretty much tell you what's going to come out, or clones of such, right? And so yeah, sequels themselves, no problem with it. I would like us to see us be in a position again where we can push new IP or other innovative things.
Yes. Usually there's a line, so it's a lot easier to point out people. Now I feel bad.
Should we make the line up?
Yeah, let's make a line. If anybody wants to ask a question, because so many people are raising their hands, maybe we should form up a line somewhere that's not going to get in the way of these awesome cameras. Actually, up here, because then we can merge up.
Let's say that along here. Hey,
line them over
here. Then I can hand them the mic.
That's brilliant. This is why he's on the panel.
Yeah. All right, number one, step forward.
I wanted to ask, this is sort of a recurring, I'm sorry if you already did something on this. I recently got it.
For a little bit, the speaker.
A month ago.
Yeah.
Sorry. What?
Maybe this was a bad idea.
Have the gentle hum.
Yeah.
One step. Turn around. Turn around.
Address the crowd.
Standing in front of the speaker. Waiting for it. We need more water. Get your butt up in here.
Alright, yeah, let's do my shot. Go
Oh, it was Paul's. Great, it's Paul's. Everything is fine now.
So I wanted to ask, I've seen this as a recurring theme in a couple of your videos. You talk every once in a while as an addendum of some game that never got released because maybe the producers were this isn't going to sell. Maybe it didn't come over to America or something. And it's a bit of a two-part question. Do you ever plan on doing an episode based solely on games that never quite made it? And if there's one game in particular that just completely broke your heart that never made it.
Wow.
No. They never made that game. Exactly.
Episode 3. Do you want to field it?
What? No.
As far as do we actually plan to do an episode on that? Maybe now we do.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, perhaps as far as games which I personally wanted to see come out, I have repeatedly heard rumors of squashed follow-ups in the Chrono Trigger series.
They registered, I think we did a story on this for years ago, but they registered a trademark for, what was it, Chrono Limited or something? Chrono Break. Yeah. Tears.
Now I'm sad. But yeah, that might actually make a pretty good topic idea.
Yeah. Do you have any particular games you always wanted that were almost out and died?
No, it's more than sequels, again, things like the Chrono Trigger sequels and stuff like that you hear rumors about that everybody wants, but then they never quite happen. So.
There are many of them.
they released that teaser for Beyond Good and Evil 2. You know, they were just
They said they're still working on that.
yeah, great.
Yeah, we'll see.
I hope you have a heinously depressing question there.
Actually, I have a couple of questions. The first one is pretty short. I just want to know where's Allison?
Where is Allison? Allison is in Texas working and overworking. She works at Vigil Games. I was misinforming everyone for like 8 months. She doesn't work at Relic. She works at Vigil Games, who cooperated with Relic. She's working on the Warhammer 40k MMO, as I understand it. Yes. And you've seen what her art looks like, so she actually does some pretty badass stuff. So I'm looking forward to that even more now. So, but yeah, probably overworking right now.
My other question was concerning SOFA. What is your opinion on it, and how do you think it will affect the gaming industry?
Episode coming soon. Yes, we come back. Obviously, we've been on a couple-week break for the holidays and stuff. Our first episode back will be this Wednesday, talking about Skyrim's opening. And the episode after that will be SOFA, which will like squeak in just in time for that new hearing, second to the hearing thing that comes. Or I think it's on the 21st, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so yes, good. And James left. Next question.
I need you. I need you.
What did? So do I.
Go back to one.
Wait, where are you from?
Keep going.
All right, so go ahead and ask your question, sir.
My question, I don't need mine. My question is, like a lot of you, I want to get into the video games industry. And like a lot of us, we need to find venues to show ourselves off and say, hey, I'm different from this guy, please hire me, blah, blah, blah. Are there certain resources that you would suggest to say, hey, this is how I get my medium out, or just post it everywhere, or is there a way to do that? Or?
You've hired people. Like, see, I got my job. Just I don't know how I got my job. So I still don't know why I'm working here.
So, to me, the more sites like Congregate, things like that, right? You have a very clear metric for how a game is doing. If you can send me and say, hey, and I had 1 million+ views on Congregate, yeah, it's clearly going to influence my decision. But if you simply, create games, right? Make an action portfolio that I can dig my teeth into. And tragically, nobody in this industry is going to play your game for more than like 10 minutes. So making sure and put all the awesome up front. If you can do that, then go to GDC and meet as many people as you can, hand out as many cards as you can, because unfortunately, for all you guys who want jobs in this industry, jobs at blank is never going to get read. We all get way too many resumes, so you really need to go and actually meet people face to face who can hand your resume over to someone in a hiring firm. So that would be my suggestion. Really fine-tune your resume, your portfolio, your business card, go down to GDC and talk to everyone.
All right. Mission accomplished.
All right?
Hello.
Hello. I met an elderly couple downstairs who were playing the 3DS, and I talked to them, and they told me they've been gaming forever. And that was amazing. And I was wondering, what do you think is the rate that people drop gaming as a hobby or go on through play the rest of their lives?
So, the age of the average gamer has been progressively increasing. If you're not talking about the AAA world, if you're talking about just games in general, the average player of games is 40-year-old and female. To me, as a generation, and even just looking out here right now, you can see that like people didn't drop television or film as youthful pastimes, we, a generation who grew up on games, will probably carry it through our lifetimes. I don't expect any longer for it to have the societal expectation that you'll grow out of it as normative, right? And so, to be honest, I expect most of us in this room to be playing when we are well into retirement.
Finally, we'll have time to play JRPGs again.
my question was, what kind of schools do you recommend for game development? And/or just tell me about how DigiPen is awesome.
Yes. So tragically, you just missed the Industry vs. Academia panel where I railed a great deal. But all right, I apologize for you guys who just got to hear me say this. As far as game schools go, it depends on what you want to get in for, right? Do you want to be a designer? Do you want to be a producer? Do you want to be an engineer? What would you like to do?
Programming, developing.
Okay, so programming and developing, you can actually go to any major school with a solid CS department. So like Carnegie Mellon, MIT, Stanford, any of these places, those are schools which anybody in the industry is going to recognize. And then from there, it's just a matter of interview, right? For any of the other degrees, you can actually, I have so far, because they didn't exist, I've never met a producer or a designer who went through one of the game schools. My bachelor's is in classics, my master's in entertainment technology. And I see that a lot. I see economics, I see philosophy, I see psychology. As far as the game schools, all right, let's get down to it. To me, and we may end up doing an episode on this, I don't know how I get away with doing an episode on this without us actually getting sued. But to me, many of the game schools are honestly criminal. You have a lot of schools which actually pay recruiters commission for every person who signs the loan papers. You have a lot of schools that are largely unaccredited, and that's one of the first places to look and see if they have true accreditation. Because a lot of these schools, Art Institute, DeVry, all these sort of things, don't really have the transferable credits. You need it to be a 4-year school, especially CS. I mean, there's no way you're getting a quality CS degree in 2 years. It's not happening. You need to make sure that, I mean, the franchise schools just aren't good. University of Phoenix, ITT, DeVry, each of these. If you have schools in dozens of states, you just don't have the focus you need. The only way you get that big is by making it a factory and not a school. And a lot of the students who I see who get out of these programs end up $100,000 in debt with a piece of paper which is worthless, which no one will. I'm sorry.
I'm a state worker now with the Department of New Jersey. I have a bachelor's degree in computer science and animation.
Okay. But unfortunately, I mean, and it crushes the dreams of a lot of people. I mean, these are vampires who are feeding off the dreams of a lot of people who want to get into this industry.
It's turning into a depressing ass panel.
But that said, there are excellent schools for games. Are you at bachelor's level or master's level?
Bachelor's.
All right, so bachelor's level, which is usually the hardest to find. I have to say something in favor of DigiPen because DigiPen is an incredibly difficult school. We have a very high degree of accreditation, but when I joined the ranks there and agreed to do my professorship, one of the things I told them was, I need to be able to fail anyone who is not ready, who is never going to get a job. I will not pass people who are never going to be in this industry or who need just years more of growth. You clap until you hear that my classes have about a 50% pass rate.